yeah, still coffee, like caffeine, or just caffeine in general, still just doesn't have an effect on me anymore.
Yeah, that's kind of a bad thing, honestly.
It is, but it's honestly because I've been drinking coffee since I was like 5 years old,
Yeah, it'd be
and
like that.
caffeine too. So it's
Yeah,
like, so I can't. I can drink like a cup or 2 cups of coffee, like in the morning, and
yeah,
just go to bed. Like a
yeah,
lot of the times, it's kind of like when I used to do it for work, it was kind of just like I guess a placebo effect. Trick myself into like, okay, I'm awake, I'm hyper, or I'm just awake, active. Let's get it going. But in all honesty, it really does
yeah,
nothing for me. I kind of just drink it now just stay regular.
yeah, yeah. But yeah. Anyways, I guess this is
Yeah,
like
yeah,
officially like for real episode 2 of the Mustache Thrashcast
yeah.
because the other warrants is just us rambling about shit as usual.
That's literally all we do.
Yeah, like that's really what it is. But I want to stick to a theme though, you know.
Gotcha.
And since we're talking about caffeine and coffee, I do want to talk about my first ever week off from work in like forever
Yeah.
because I never
Yeah.
took a week off. So
Damn.
yeah, it was just like it was, and it was like literally like take time for myself.
Uh huh.
You know,
Uh.
like no errands, no, oh, I'm just gonna sleep in every day and play video games. It's like, nah, I
Mhm.
really did. Cause, I mean, okay, like there's a few spots I've been looking at,
Mhm.
and like that Warren Cafe place we went to. That place is
Yeah.
awesome, of course, as
Oh yeah.
usual. Even during like lunchtime during weekdays, it's like not that bad.
Oh yeah. Oh, you went during lunch?
Yeah, I just had like normal warrant, but I didn't want to ingest like too much caffeine because there was also like this Warren vegan smoothie place. I'll look up the information. I'll send it to you. But like,
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
yeah, it's like around. I mean, I was just driving around, just looking at places, just look up, look on maps and just find out. Just type something in, like type in cafe or coffee shop or vegan restaurant or something, just random stuff. I want to like go out
Mhm.
exploring, so I'm pretty broke right now. So
Oh
but
shit.
at least it's good to know to where I'm just like, okay, cool, because I don't want to be that guy that's just gets Starbucks like every time,
Yeah.
because I
Overrated.
yeah, not only overrated but overpriced.
Very.
Yeah,
Very.
because that's why if you're gonna get something, get like the grande, because that's the only time that you're actually getting something extra.
Mhm.
It's like the
You're actually gonna with like
yeah,
more bang
yeah,
for your buck.
yeah. Because have you seen? I don't know. There's like a viral TikTok or shit post meme or whatever of like someone poured like, it was just funny. It's just like, hey, excuse me, can I get a grande or can I get a venti instead? And the girl's like, sure. And it was in the drive-through. She pulled out a venti cup and poured a grande into the venti, and it almost filled like the exact same amount.
Yeah.
It's like that shit at
Yeah.
McDonald's that they did.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, and it's like that. But then again, like sometimes not all like cold brews, like people don't pay attention to that,
No,
because
it's like
it's
a lost thing. They
yeah,
have it on the menu, but they don't like actively try and promote it. So it's like, they don't really care too much to keep it good.
yeah. So it's probably just been sitting there. Or like, also I found out that like there was a guy, I'm not gonna say what Starbucks location, but then again it could be anyone. There was a guy who was just like, oh, let me get you a fresh one because the one we serve people is a day old. And I'm like, oh shit.
Jeez.
So but because I was just so like polite and stuff,
Uh-huh.
and he was just like, I don't want to do you wrong. I see you. I know you walk here every morning because I do. And he was just like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I'll get you the fresher one that we're not
Gotcha.
supposed to touch yet. And I'm just like, oh shit. So they're actually serving like day old cold brews, which,
Ah.
yeah. So, but then there's this one place that's like a literal coffee house.
Mhm.
I don't know the name of it. I'm bad with names. I just look at the address and walk in.
Right.
And now that shit, bro, it's like this Mexican coffee that they have where it's like brewed with like cinnamon and
Oh
some
yeah, yeah,
others,
like a cafecito. Yeah.
something like
Oh yeah,
that. Dude, I drank that, like, and the cool thing about it was I went with this one because it had a little note of like you get one more free refill out of this
yeah.
if you
Hey.
buy this. So I'm just like, okay, I'll get that one so I don't pay another one. And I was just reading my book Beyond Good and Evil by Friedrich Nietzsche, and we'll
Mhm.
talk into some philosophical things and some things I've discovered. And so I was drinking that, and bro, I had it with both the half and half mixed in,
Mhm.
and then one without it. They're both
Okay.
good, but man, that shit had me wired. Like I got home and I was just like, oh my god, it just feels like,
Woo!
yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
like, I mean, it wasn't like that. It was just like, dude, that was really strong stuff, you know? And
Uh-huh.
because I was reading, because I was at the place for, because that's what I do. I like go to a place and I'll sit and I'll like read for like an hour, you know,
Mhm.
whatever I'm feeling. And since I had like no schedule, I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm just enjoying myself, immersive. And then I was just like, holy shit. And then there was like that vegan place I told you about that had vegan smoothies and stuff. There was one where, and this is what I drank before my skate session where I made the reel with. Okay, here's the thing about my reel. Those were all new tricks.
Ooh.
Those are all new tricks, and a lot of them were either first or second try. I
Hell
mean,
yeah.
and it was just like, cause dude, that smoothie was perfect for me because it had, I mean, it had almond butter. Uh, I
Mhm.
don't know what kind of milk they put in it. I wasn't sure, but it was out of a jar, so it could have been some organic stuff. And also, I was watching them make it the whole time, and then it has a shot of espresso in it. No, no, I think it's cappuccino. I think there's a cappuccino that's mixed in there as well. You
Oh.
know, with cinnamon, half a banana. Like I was just watching them like make it because I just like, I'm nosy like that. You
Mhm.
know, it's like you ever try to like watch people make a burrito at Chipotle. You know,
Yeah.
you're just like, okay, okay, oh, okay, so that's where they start the wrapping process. All right, and
Yeah.
then it's
Yeah.
like, and then yeah, I had that, and bro, that was all I needed for like all day. Like, and I skated from like, I down skated from like 11 a.m. to. Well, here's the thing. I was awake because I picked up one of my skate friends. You know, he DM'd me because he, I guess he saw me like what restaurant I was at. He was just like, bro, I know where you're at, dude. Like, you'd mind if you pick me up, because he usually catches the bus. And he was just like, all right, bet. And then, dude, I just had like really good like energy, and I was just
Oh, nice.
skating. Yeah, because I skated all day Monday, skated all day Tuesday, and then Wednesday, yesterday, I was kind of burned out a little bit, so I was still at the park. I
Mhm.
was still at the skate park, and I was just doing some reading there, and it was pretty dead, so there wasn't really no one to like really watch or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I think that's one thing I've kind of developed in recent time is that I'm very, and this may have something to do with the fasting. I've been very focused on stuff,
Mhm.
and not like, you know, Chainsaw Man Chapter 118 focus. Which, by the
Mm.
way, are you familiar with the whole the new following of the new protagonist of Chainsaw Man?
Yeah, I've been so I haven't caught up all the way to it, but I did get to that. I did get there, but like I haven't finished. But I
I
know, but I know what you're talking about.
yeah, I've been caught up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I'm like, I never, okay. I never thought like it is so weird because it's like wow, out of all the so-called waifu materials and waifu potential in this whole freaking series, Asa Mitaka is the one that I'm actually in love with because there's 2 pages of her literally explaining the species of starfish.
Holy
And it's
shit.
like at like the aquarium date with Denji. And the funny thing about it that damn it, what Toski, yeah, Toski, like the author, he didn't even redraw anything. He just used the same panels and just put new text just to give you an idea of how like yeah, but it's almost like bro, like I never thought I'll look at a girl and be all like, dude, she's literally me. Because
Yeah.
it's just like you know that, but yeah, but like I've been like more like focused on stuff, like look watching things, how you know like skaters, foot positions, and all that stuff. And today I found how to do basically the key to doing pop shove-its, regular
Hmm.
pop shove-its. It's not in the ball of the foot or in the scoop. It's in the toe.
The toe.
Yeah, there's something to where when you pop it, I don't know. It's almost like as you jump or pop, like point your toe down,
Hmm.
and like while you're board, well, basically your toe is in the middle of the board, which is really weird, and you don't think it will work, but for some reason it just works, and I will have more control, and I'll get like a consistent 180 rotation every time. And so now I know how to pop shove it, like the key to it. So I was like really stoked on that, and I was doing that, and I was doing them consistently today. Because sometimes it's that trick to where sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't. Right, which is why you don't ever see me doing like any shove its and like reels.
Yeah.
You know, except for like that half-ass one in like an old reel I made. But even though you didn't really see me land it either. You
Yeah.
know, so yeah, so I got that today, and then yeah, so that's what I did for my week off, was just to have time for myself and just engage in the things that I'm probably going to be engaging in for well a long time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, just reading and skateboarding.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah. So how's your week been, or what have you been
Uh.
up to? You know, did you
Uh.
fart?
No. 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 No.
Okay, that sounded like a fart. Like
Yeah, I
it
know.
sounded like that
It's like the
meme.
whole
It
like.
sounded like that meme fart that honestly there's some meme lore I'll tell you about it in a little bit. But yeah, tell me what was your week?
It's been a good week. Just worked a little bit. Get
Hmm.
the uh, get the house and the yard situated. We had a city guy and a couple of contractors come to look at the house because we filed for to try and get the house redone or fixed up and stuff. They came by today and they looked at it, took a bunch of pictures,
Thank you to
and
the patrons for
got the
supporting.
ball rolling. Got the ball rolling into whether they'll fix it up or basically just rebuild it.
Hmm.
So that's a thing going on. Well, that's something to look forward to
All right.
because like my grandma's been trying to get this going for like years,
Yeah.
like years she's been trying to, and she finally got a hold of the right people, thankfully, and submitted the right forms, and now we got it rolling. So that's something something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Something to
Yeah.
look forward to.
Yeah. That's definitely a process.
Oh yeah, yeah. Just I've been just hanging around really. Just, you know,
Yeah.
been playing more games with my little sister and her friend. We got like we're on that new season Apex now. That's team deathmatch.
Nice.
It's fun.
I've been I don't know, I haven't really been playing games too much.
Hmm.
And the thing is I don't feel, and it's like and I try not to like feel guilty about it. It's
Yeah.
just like I'll play them when I play them.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because like Silent Hill 3, still kind of working on it. But then again, Silent Hill 3, it's like it's still a scary game, so I have to be kind of like, oh man. But
Yeah.
I only like playing it at night because my screen gets like glare,
Uh-huh.
and if it's like a horror game is like really dark, so I want to play in a very dark environment so I can see what's in front of me.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not getting attacked
Yeah.
by something and not know it, because that's how Resident Evil 8 was for me. As in, like, wow, I could not see anything, just because there was just
Yeah.
so much. Well, because of warm backlight bleed, and then also
Mhm.
glare from just natural lighting.
Yeah.
So that's why I had to upgrade to these monitors, but there's still like there's no like anti glare. Like I don't even have like the light at
Mhm.
all anywhere, and there's still like a little bit, looking at my screen.
Okay, okay.
But
Yeah, it gives you the whole experience of
yeah,
doing it.
yeah, exactly. And
That is.
and then of course I because once again I have so many games on backlog.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like
Same.
yes, because like I mean I tried to play Elden Ring for a bit,
Mhm.
and it's a hard game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean no, because the thing is it's almost like I don't know. It's kind of random in a way, because you just don't know if you'll have like a good weapon drop, But then also one of the biggest mistakes ever, it's like I don't know, I guess it's kind of like a faulty well, it's not really a faulty design, but it's almost like there's no real description of like what kind of character you want to be, or what kind of class you want to be,
Oh, okay, okay.
So sometimes it's almost like, well, the stealth build, you can have that, because they're saying there's no really such thing as stealth in it. It's
Yeah.
you just have maybe like, I don't know, like, if you're really good at parrying, it's really good,
Mhm.
but that takes a while to get. How to get like the perfect timing of like doing a parry. But other than that, I don't know. I just got at a point where I don't know where I'm at right now, because I opened up a chest and ended up on the other side of the map, and there's like a bunch of hellish things around me, and I'm like just trying to outrun them all with my horse. So yeah,
Mhm.
so if I load right now, I'll be chased by a crow with a giant head, a bunch of a pissed off samurai ghost, and a dragon.
Mhm.
So I'm like have to. So yeah, that's what happens when I load my game. So
Oh
yeah,
boy. Hit the home run.
I just went back to playing Yakuza Kiwami, just cause and
Oh yeah.
but I'm just grinding on that game, because I'm just because those games are grindy, and it's just cool to just like beat up people,
Straight up.
run
With
around
a
and
bicycle.
uh yeah, if I go into beast mode,
Yeah.
but but the thing, oh yeah, but that meme lore about that fart noise.
Yeah. Yeah.
The one where it's like it's the brain aneurysm fart noise.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
you know who created that? Believe it or
No.
not, June
What?
from Sword Slut. Yeah,
What?
she actually made that meme because she posted it on her Discord.
Mhm.
Just I don't know, she made it just like as an insult to somebody saying something real dumb, and I guess like someone like took it, and then it just spread like wildfire, and she was just like, and then because there was like a comment like that they found to where it was just like, yeah, I didn't think that I'd be a creator of a meme as well.
Mhm.
So yeah, she created that, which was kind of a funny thing I kind of discovered.
Wow.
Yeah, you know,
That's wild, man.
yeah. And then
Oh,
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I still like, I don't know, dude. I still listen to her music to this day. Like I never get tired of it. Well, then again, she made like 8 albums in like what, 2 years or something.
mhm.
So it's
Oh,
like,
dude, yeah.
yeah, and then all of them are different, because like Drowning in the Sewer is like a very atmospheric album. while Draining Love Story is really more like drum and bass, like strictly drum and bass. And then of course her magnum opus, we had Good Times Together. Don't forget that. That's probably
Yeah.
like, in my opinion, that's like my favorite album from her was her last one, just because she really went all out on that one. She went
Hmm.
all out. But yeah, but I still listen to her music. Then also, I guess as a recent obsession, I started listening to like a lot of post rock
Hmm.
because I don't know, I'm just at that point to where I just don't like music with lyrics in it anymore.
Okay. Okay.
Like I don't know what it is. It's just like it has to be. I don't know. It's like I just want to hear music.
Yeah.
I just feel it's just more.
Totally.
Yeah, it's just more authentic to. You know, I guess that's like in a way because I like to interpret things.
Okay. Okay.
Because sometimes like you can have like the song title that could set the theme, but
Yeah.
then you just have some that are just so vague and ambiguous to where it's just like it could be about anything.
Hmm.
Like basically you could picture something happy or sad. It's just it's up to your interpretation.
Yeah. It's up to how you're feeling right now,
Yeah,
how you're looking at stuff. Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So yeah, that's kind of why
That's
I
that's good.
yeah
That's a good music right there, where
yeah
it leaves you, the listener, that wants to see.
yeah
It's
yeah
like you try it, see
yeah
what it says.
yeah exactly. Because of course it's almost like because post rock you could kind of like interpret it what you want, which is
Hmm.
kind of funny because here's the thing, like some of these post rock bands have been involved in like some of the biggest projects and no one know about it.
Mm.
Like literally, there was a band called Lights in Motion, and they had a song that was used in a Lone Survivor.
Wow.
Yeah, and then also, what's another good example? Moneyball. It was I want to say it's either Explosions in the Sky or Godspeed You Black Emperor. It's one of those two bands, but they were straight up like one of the songs was like used as a theme for Moneyball.
Wow.
Yeah, like there's like a lot of like, and it's crazy because some of these post rock bands really have been like you know part of something. But of course, like I think the biggest post rock band is Sigur Rós, which some people they don't even know if they heard it somewhere, but it was probably like in a movie. I know one of their songs was used in We Bought a Zoo, and
Oh.
yeah, and then also another one of their songs was used somewhere else. I don't know, but there was just that's how it is. But it's kind of crazy of how like these are probably like some of the biggest bands ever that no one knows who they are.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like, no, dude, you've heard them before. You just don't know.
Yeah,
And you're like, I don't know. You put on one song, you're like, that's them.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah. I mean,
That's
hell.
it.
But then also, like, let me look up that one song for like Moneyball. I know the name of the song is like the Great Rio. Oh, I got them both wrong. It's the band This Will Destroy You. That's the name of the band.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's like that guitar tone is just so, or that guitar sound is like so like iconic, and it's like yeah, that was used in and then also I think oh yeah, Sigur Rós was in a Assassin's Creed trailer back in the day.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, serious.
Wow.
Yeah, like I'm just looking at it and it's just like yeah, that's how it is. But other than that, I've been listening to I guess hard techno. Just and that's another thing too. I'll discover genres or at least ask around. Like my one, I don't even want to call her friend because she's someone I really don't want to call a friend because she's fucking crazy.
Mm.
She's literally Power from Chainsaw Man.
Oh, yeah,
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 yeah. You told me about
she's that girl. Which I mean I guess she's doing all right now.
that. Mhm.
I guess like she's no longer. I don't know if she's. I don't know if she's still working at bars. You know, I think all she does is DJs, and she works at like a yoga place or something.
Good.
So yeah, so
Yoga's, good for you.
yeah, and then of course focusing on just music in general is just better outlet for you. You
Mm,
know, because you're involved in something you like to do. You know,
sh-
so yeah, I was just like, and we were just trying to find like the specific genres. Like, yeah, like what's like a song like this? Like, what is that? And she was just like, it's kind of weird because it's kind of modern because it's really, it sounds recent, but it's almost like
mm,
we're trying to find it, and then we were just like, you know, and then we just found it, and then we just like, it's like techno, but it's also kind of like the music progression is almost like prototype funk and then or
mm,
something around there, and then we were just like, oh, it's just hard techno. That's all it's called.
mm.
So I just look up hard techno artists, and that's what I just been listening to while walking or doing stuff, you know. And of
Nice.
course now like my YouTube algorithm is like sending me DJ sets of hard techno because
Okay.
HOR Berlin has like what like five like 3 to 5 DJ sets a day, but at least the
Yeah.
algorithm is like recognizing of like, okay, here's all the hard techno artists. I'm like, okay, cool, thank you.
Oh,
Yeah, so
yeah.
that's so yeah, so I guess that's kind of like the biggest, that's a yin and yang for me right there. It's either like I'm listening to post rock or hard techno.
Hmm.
The most mellow shit, well, it could be the most intense shit emotionally,
Yeah.
but hard techno is just like the most intense shit because there's just nothing slow about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so I don't know.
yeah.
Like I don't know. Have you? I mean, have you been like? I don't know. How like what? Have you been listening to anything new or anything you came across? You know, or something that caught your interest in recent weeks?
Man, like when I've been going to work, I've always just been because I got YouTube Premium now,
Mm-hmm.
and because I took that I had like a 3 month free subscription, so I decided it. I am now spoiled. I'm paying for it now because I do not miss ads.
Oh yeah.
So and then also you can lock your phone and it still plays. So
Oh yeah. I
it's good.
forgot about that feature. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
It,
because it works a lot better than Spotify has on my phone. Like
uh,
both phones I've had.
yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know, Spotify sometimes will randomly just stop
Yeah.
stop playing.
yeah, it will do. I don't know why. It, like sometimes it just crashes. Like, but when it
Yeah,
does, it just doesn't work for like a while.
yeah. So I have to like stop, re get like a click on the app again, but it'll pick up right where it left off, but just randomly crash.
Yeah, it's just annoying
So
if you're like driving or something.
uh-huh. So I'm liking that, but I've honestly just been putting on just whole albums
Yeah.
and just listening like wow, I think it was like at work the other day. Like it was pretty chill, so I just had one uh one earbud in because they said at work like you can listen to your music, just only have one earbud in, and but if someone comes to talk to you or ask for something, it's like, oh hi, how's it going? Da da da. So I put on. I kind of like, yeah, I know. It always comes back to like I sometimes forget myself how good Slayer just is.
Uh huh.
Like I put on like the Hell Awaits, and then right after that I put on Seasons in the Abyss, and then I just forget. It's like I forgot how much of a banger like Seasons in the Abyss is.
The
Just that
whole the
entire
whole album.
yeah, the entire
Okay.
album is just like, uh, damn. I don't know. Sometimes you go listen to old stuff and you kind of just forget. Wow, damn, I forgot how good they were and stuff like that. I put on a
Oh, that's Tempo of the Damned.
Tempo of the Damned.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, that whole record is great.
angry. Just I love
Yeah.
it.
Well, it's kind of like the
but
whole. It's kind of like the whole way through. You know, it's just like there's a
mhm.
lot. I mean, there's just a lot of like. I mean, there's just so much riffage in all those. You know.
All right.
Especially the original, like, or just the title track, tempo to damn, just that one. It's just a
Mm-hmm.
very simple riff, well, it's just basically a power chord. It's like a flat fifth power chord and a regular power chord slide up, but it just sounds really good. And then also, um if I'm not mistaken, well, I don't know what album. Well, actually, I know on Shovelheaded Kill Machine, the reason why I like that album was because they were really pushing the limits of distortion because they were using the
Mm.
PV Triple X heads, the PV
Oh,
Triple X series heads, which I do
yeah.
see them occasionally on sale. I've been so tempted to buy one, but I'm just like, there's just no reason for me to get that right now. Just because I'm not really active in music. And then, of course, I'd rather, me. I mean, come on. If I'm playing something, it's like playing jazz or whatever. I still play my jazz chords, you know,
Of course.
because I feel
Of
like
course.
if I just do my jazz chords, warm ups or exercises, that will just make me good all around. Because that's a lot. That's it. That's like the biggest challenge. But yeah, but yeah. So I mean, there are like some old albums that you do come across.
Yeah.
I think one album I came across that like, cause on Spotify how you can like a whole album and it saves to your library.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's that's how it was for me. I mean, there was like quite a few. Let me just bring up the list right here, cause like, well, definitely one that I really like was, I mean, okay, basically just all of a low life from New Order,
Mm.
because whenever you look up New Order on Spotify or just anywhere, you're always going to get like the hits albums or the compilation albums, or
Yeah.
like a re-release. Because here's the thing, they like release songs as singles throughout the 80s, but there's been like those compilation albums, that they put together just so they could put out something,
Oh yeah.
instead of just selling singles. But Low Life was like a really good full-length album from them, and this is like the original version. And then, speaking of like other stuff, sometimes on YouTube there's just albums to where you'll get the original album with like all the songs.
Okay.
Because there's a good example is there's a band called the Underground Youth, kind of like a
Okay.
indie. I mean, if you're into shoegaze, you might like it, or maybe not, because shoegaze is kind of a weird genre.
Mm.
Because to me, real shoegaze to be played with the HM2 pedal, which not just Swedish death metal bands, but a lot of shoegaze bands
Mm.
play that pedal as well, because it does give, because it's almost like an octafuzz pedal, so that's why. But yeah, anyways, there's an album called Mademoiselle, and there's some songs on Spotify that aren't available or not even on it, but then when you go on YouTube and look for this full album, Mademoiselle by Underground Youth, they'll have all the songs.
Ooh.
And then one of the most popular songs that are on there is not on Spotify for whatever reason. Because
Huh.
on Spotify, it's like a re release. So I guess this is like the original rip,
Okay. Okay.
But I've heard, or I think it was like a cover or something. And then that's why it's like, okay, maybe. But either way, dude, I mean, that's just, I mean, that's just a great album that I've discovered strictly through YouTube and not through Spotify. So sometimes that YouTube algorithm will really hit.
Man, remember the OG YouTube algorithm, like
Yeah,
2010 to
yeah, YouTube's
14?
YouTube sidebar. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the great. I found so many bands
Yeah, because
just from
it
that
was
algorithm.
because they're a lot more, because there was a lot. I mean, thankfully I still have some playlists that I'll look up here and there, even though they're very unorganized, but just very random. There was like one speed metal band that used like a drum machine,
Oh,
which obviously it was, but it didn't matter because the song, just the song structure and the riffage were just awesome.
yeah.
I think I found them along like basic. I think I was like listening to like Speed Wolf at the time, and then this other band popped up, and then I saw that, and I don't know, I forgot the name of it, but there's like so much. it, It almost like it was
Mm,
constantly just trying to figure out, because it went by like what else people listen to.
gotcha.
That's kind of what it was. But now, since YouTube is like a career platform,
Mm-hmm.
it's like you're gonna get recommended like people's content.
Mm.
Like
Yeah,
people
yeah,
monetize content because that's what it is. Because that's how it works.
gotcha. Yeah, so yeah, under bands, and I'm getting like streamers or VTubers stuff until you click on the. I found there's that little tab that says related,
Yeah,
and then you're like, oh yeah, now it's more music instead of just it being automatically like, oh,
yeah,
oh, you're listening to this. Hey, you might like these guys
yeah.
too.
Well, one thing it does good for me, at least, since I listen to like a lot of June's music,
Hmm.
I basically listen. Well, a lot of like, there's always like new breakcore songs are uploaded.
Yeah.
So at least it's giving me like new breakcore artists, like showing me,
Okay. Okay.
because I mean, I don't know, because it just kind of feels like when you're just into that whole breakcore genre, there's only like three bands,
Mm.
and one of them is not really a breakcore artist because I mean, I don't know, it's really weird because Machine Girl, Wolf Girl is probably like the only album I really listened to. But
Mm.
it's so weird of how that's like the most known album, but yet all the other albums are like completely different from
Yeah.
Wolf Girl. Like it's like way different. It's almost like kind of like Ministry with Sympathy, their
Mm.
first album, which is like a total
Yeah.
new wave,
Yeah.
artist, and then a couple albums later, he just moved to Texas and got hooked on heroin and then made Ministry. But all I
Gotcha.
know, dude, I don't know how he got Max Scasia to play guitar for him. You know,
Man.
from I mean, that's I probably met him at a show or something. But man, dude,
Yeah.
he because I think I mean he was definitely like the epitome of like just consistent speed, amazing guitars. I'm glad I got to see him at a clinic, yeah, back then. But I was too shy
Oh,
to talk to
nice.
him though because I was still young.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. God, I hate that.
yeah, because but you have stuff like that, and then of course you have well, of course, Source Slut, and then also you have Warren R. Oh yeah, and then Gore shit. But I don't know. Like I said, there's just so many like breakcore horrors I get now, but they're like kind of more on like ambient D&B, drum and bass.
Okay.
So yeah, that's basically how it is now. Then oh yeah, if you want to talk about like some weird shit, there's something very cool I came across. Now I know there's whole thing about like this whole AI thing that's getting out of control.
Oh,
Even though
fair.
even though like it's making like memeable stuff,
Yeah.
but and some people are saying like yeah, there could really be like some real like information like basically let's just reference Metal Gear Solid 2 of like just the
Gotcha.
handling of misinformation and how it's fabricated by shit posters.
Yeah.
But something really cool happened. Um, are you familiar with Joshua Graham, the character of Fallout New Vegas?
Uh,
Okay, like
I don't think
he
so.
was basically I guess you could say he was this guy who was burned and set on fire and thrown down to Hoover Dam, but he survived and became a born again Christian because it was a miracle.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so that's like his whole background character. But here's the thing: his voice, it's like I guess AI learning like got his voice, and they actually have him reading the Book of Revelations. And to me, it's like the most surreal but coolest thing ever because it's like this is exactly the person I want to read the Bible. Because
Yeah.
because because I can't listen to like audiobooks or whatever because I'd rather read it.
Hmm.
But when
Yeah.
you have like I just think that's the cool thing of like, dude, you can have AI learning of like even though the controversial part of it is like you have but then again, like it's like these certain readers or actors, like unless they're paid to do it, they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
So it's like I just think that's like the coolest thing of like, what if we have like AI learning voiced by like certain people, you
Yeah.
know, but like
I'm up.
but like respectfully though, because it's like
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, dude, because it's like I know someone's gonna do it and it's gonna be really cool, but it might feel kind of disrespectful. But if they can
Yeah.
do like our audiobooks with Christopher Lee's voice,
Yeah.
because
Oh
you,
my
cause
god.
you know someone's just gonna take one for the team and just be like, "Hey, I just thought this would be a really cool idea. No
Hmm.
disrespect,
Right.
just have them read like a bunch of like, dude, just have them read Shakespeare, unless he already did that,
Honestly.
or even like read like horror like Lovecraftian novels,
Oh my
or
god.
Edgar Allan
Yeah.
Poe, like just have stuff like that. Now that sounds cool, like, but I just hope no one does like goes too far with it to the
Yeah.
point
That's
to
all it
where
is.
like there could be like some real like government involved stuff.
Yeah.
Like, what if like, The Great Gatsby read by by former President Donald Trump? Like just
Oh, that's disgusting.
yeah, like no, it's like that'll probably be the funniest thing ever, but that he will probably like ruin that of like trying to sue whoever that is to use his liking,
Oh.
you
Oh
know?
yeah, 'cause he's
Or
not making any
you
money off of
know,
it.
yeah, exactly. Like someone goes a little too far of just like there's no reason to make this,
Mhm.
but it's like someone just had to do it, or have like I mean, but then again, honestly, I will love like uh Nick from Cumtown doing his Joe Biden impersonation, just reading anything. Good that
Just like me, like a shit
like
post.
not like not even Joe Biden, the specific comedian I want impersonating Joe Biden to have AI. Is AI learning good enough to learn an impersonation?
Oh,
Like that. Get that.
oh, that's something.
Yeah, like some Inception. Like that. Now that's what I will want. But
He reads the Navy SEAL shit post copy pasta.
I think it was better. I think someone probably
Oh
already
yeah,
did
there's
that
better.
low key, a lot of
Yeah,
it. But I mean, like, I want, like, like, I want, I don't know, dude. Uh,
Dante's Inferno.
I was gonna say, like, I don't know, man. One thing that would sound like pretty cool. It'd be really weird, but I don't know. I want like Keanu Reeves to read Art of War, but it's
That
like,
would that would be something.
it would just be one of those things to where it's just like, is this an AI learn audiobook, or did I leave Cyberpunk running again? Cause that's basically what it would be, It's just
Mhm.
Keanu Reeves' voice in his sarcastic,
Yeah,
voice, his pessimistic voice. But yeah. Oh yeah, speaking of like, what
yeah.
was it? Oh yeah, speaking of like, well, pessimism. We're gonna talk about philosophy a little bit. I had some
Okay.
breakthroughs,
All right.
but
Nice.
what was okay? Have you been doing any reading at all in the past recent years? I mean, you could be honest and say no, or if it's like not as interesting as it once was, because I was like that for years.
Eh, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, give me 1 second though
Uh,
before I answer. 1 second.
I gotcha.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now we're back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So reading, um, probably like the last book I read through its entirety was the story of Ahsoka from Star Wars, cause it's just a good book
How was
to
that?
me. Huh?
How was that?
Oh, it was good. It gives you a lot more information about what happened, and like after the Clone Wars, after Order 66, how how she got her lightsabers back and everything when they get the series and stuff. It's really good, but I have picked up a couple of books, a lot like just like one of those like those Barnes and Nobles like edition of like horror novels and stuff.
Oh yeah, like those cool
Oh
hardcovers.
yeah, yeah. I got a couple of those. I've read like some stories out of there, but I haven't really like sat down and read it through. I also got Nurgle's biography, The Confessions of a Heretic.
Oh,
That
okay.
and it's yeah, and it's good because he really talks about his early life, and then his battle with cancer and stuff, and
Yeah.
how it took a toll on him, and how he progressed as a person from winning that battle and everything.
Uh huh.
So that's a good read. But honestly, mostly just been if I'm reading anything, it's really just manga.
Yeah, I'm kind of. I mean, I still read manga, but just because it's like I could just go through it like so quick,
Honestly, yeah.
because it's like because I prefer not to read like on the screen, 'Cause I rather
Mhm.
have like a physical. Because then again, it's also like a lot better, Well, it's better for your eyes, really, to like
Oh,
read, on paper.
yeah.
That's why some people don't like to Kindle, because it actually does harm
Mhm.
their eyes. That goes the same with like iPads. Or so I forgot who it was, but I remember someone like posted, or just like, "What is that? So that's like a drawing tablet." It's like, "Oh no, it's this thing." I don't know, but it's like it's like it's compatible with like Android apps.
Mhm.
Well, I forgot what it was called, but they said like, "Oh yeah, but it's like it has a strictly blue light filter like built in. Like you cannot turn it off." But that's the cool
Okay.
thing. So basically, it means like the screen itself is the blue light filter. Yeah,
Oh,
instead of like having like a
that's
blue light
really
filter.
nice.
Yeah, so it's just to, like kind of help, you know. Like I forgot what the product was called, but I mean, basically there is something better than a Kindle and a regular like iPad, you know,
Mhm.
or
Mhm.
or a Galaxy Pad or whatever it is, like there is something better out there that's actually does not hurt your eyes,
Mhm.
because it
Yeah,
has
yeah.
like the screen.
Yeah, I've been seeing people start marketing glasses to help with that blue light
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
I
because
I
it
don't.
doesn't because even though you'll have like blue light filters, but it's not really a filter. It's just changing. Like I don't know. I'm just gonna make up stuff here because I don't know the terms, but it's just something to do with the frequencies that our eyes pick up and process.
Mm,
Yeah, it's like because there's a thing called light theory, to where there are certain lights that do certain things to you or certain moods or whatever, and that does things to your brain. And that's what like so basically, even though big because it's like because there was like a guy that I recommend. His name is Andrew Huberman. He's a neuroscientist. Uh, and he even says it's like, yeah, you should not be looking at any screens. That's what you say, like
Yeah,
straight up, like not even if
yeah.
there is like a so-called blue light filter. It's just like, yeah, you should not be looking at any screen like at all, for very extended periods of time.
Mhm.
You know, that's
Gotcha.
why. That's why. Like, I don't know if you ever seen them, but if you ever went to like some doctor's or dentist office, so I remember they had like this little screen that a physical screen that went over a monitor. Like
Mhm.
that's what that
Yeah,
was. Yeah.
yeah. So that's what that is.
Yeah, that's what it was for because it was literally blocking like actual blue light. And but I don't know if those are in production because monitors have that feature now, or so-called feature blue light filter. But yeah, that's what that was originally.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a privacy screen or whatever, but it was actual screen to like make sure that you're
Mhm.
not messed up with yourself. Just the same for those weird keyboards that were like kind of split. That was keyboards that were used to relieve arthritis or in theory relieve arthritis.
Huh.
So yeah, so there was like certain little things, technologies that were kind of overlooked or forgotten, but yeah, that's what those were. But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Wow.
yeah, just little things I look into and learn and stuff,
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, day by day I'm slowly sounding like a real intellectual.
Mhm.
Not just some asshole that reads a bunch of video essays, you know. You know, on YouTube because I rather like do my own research and learn what is why and why is what,
Mhm.
which will come into the whole philosophical part. But yeah, yeah, I've read two books so far.
Okay.
Well, not two. I mean, I'm almost done with this one. I'm currently reading Frederick Nietzsche, Beyond Good and Evil. which goes
Okay.
into the philosophy of nihilism. I'll explain what nihilism is. But before that, there was a book I got, and it's a pretty short read. I got it, I read it in a day. Just I did this on like day 4 of my fast, and it's
Mm.
called Existentialism is Humanism. I read that in a day, and that's a really good read because what existentialism is, he basically changed. Well, here's the thing: existential has a pretty negative meaning if you only hear the word. But if you're alive back in the day through this movement of these philosophers and literary geniuses, practically, uh, Jean-Paul Sartre was basic. I think I said his name wrong. I didn't. It's like Jean-Paul Sartre, I think, fucking French. But like, it's basically, here's the thing about existentialism. Existentialism is basically you give uh life. You basically you make up your own meaning for life. You know, it's
Mm.
like the concept of like, okay, let's have this as an example. Okay, go to your drawer or kitchen, or you don't have to literally, but like, pull out a knife, and it's a butter knife.
Yeah.
Why is it called a butter knife?
So
Because
you use it to. Oh, I didn't know if you wanted me to answer
no,
the
no, no, you
question.
can go ahead and answer. Just be straight up
Oh, okay.
honest. Yeah.
Well, because it's for so many, for so many years, you used to, spread butter. It's the knife for spreading butter.
Ex-
You
ex-
can use other knives, but
yeah.
that knife, you know.
Yeah. Exactly. Now, there's also like another example of like you have a letter opener.
Hmm.
Now, here's the thing: we don't really have like we don't really need a letter opener. But back
Yeah,
then, well, here's the thing: because back then you kind of did need them because where they had that wax, when you sealed it before we had to
that
like
yeah.
lick the thing, Or now
The
we
glue.
and
Yeah,
sometimes we don't even have lick. You just have like a little pull tab on there, and it has the
yeah.
adhesive, And that's what it was. So it was like a knife that was like kind of a relatively dull knife, but it was dull to the point to where it wouldn't damage the paper, but it still had a little bit of edge to it to break through the wax.
Hmm.
So basically, it's just like, yeah. So it's almost like purpose precedes existence, and vice versa.
Okay.
So that's the way it is. So as humans, we are a very complex carbon-based life form, up to the point to where in my theory we are a very advanced form of biomechanical, you know basically just biomechanical sentient thing that's somehow designed.
Hmm.
There's basically there, but the thing is, it's like, are the things that we do physically, we can do many things. We have
Hmm.
fingers to grab things, we can do very intricate things, with it. It's like from breaking twigs to start a fire, to even sewing a little scuff or hole in our clothes. Like, there's
Hmm.
many little things. So that's basically what the concept of existentialism is like you're giving your actual self of being a purpose, because there's
Hmm.
so many things that you can do physically. So basically, you could pick anything, because we're not a knife, but we are a tool for anything.
Hmm.
And that's what existentialism is, or at least in my interpretation of it from reading his book. And
Hmm.
yeah. And then Beyond Good and Evil, which is nihilism, which is basically meaning, it's basically meaninglessness. It's basically as deconstructing kind of like the moral values, because it's almost like it's like, is there anything against the law for like holding the door open for someone?
Yeah.
Oh, so there is a law.
Oh, no, 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 no. No,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I know what you mean.
Okay, yeah. So I was about to say, I'm like, what the fuck? But like the thing
Yeah,
is, So, but or like, or responding, or like saying like have a nice day, or like basically, because these are all like just courteous things that are made through, human memes. The actual definition of meme from Metal Gear Solid 2. There we go. I'm referencing Metal Gear
Mhm.
Solid 2 twice. That's two in one in one podcast. But the thing is, it's like that's what we kind of have. Or but basically there's this sort of like expectation of certain actions, rather if it's like social to moral to even potential spiritual actions.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
so what he is doing, he is breaking that down to the point of we can do without this. That there is no mean. Basically, it's almost like you're becoming free because you're breaking from these sort of like these things that are just expected or have some kind of meaning to them or hold some kind of weight. It's almost like the concept of the cross. Like, why does that have such a huge meaning for people? All it is just a cross. Because was there
Yeah.
not other people who were crucified
Yeah.
before Yeshua or Jesus, or
Mhm.
or the dude with long hair, you know,
Right.
you know, and then it's like that's it's like that, it's like we give things meaning, but it's like things are given meaning, it's like the concept of hype behind clothing, because at the end of the day, Supreme is still a skate shop.
Yeah.
You can physically go there. It's a skate shop. You go there, that's what it is, It's just a skate brand where you just happen to like make clothes. But they hype it up to the point to where people don't believe me, to where I could just buy straight from the store. I don't buy
Mhm.
anything resale from Supreme,
Yeah.
because sometimes you go in the store and if it's not sold out, it's because it's just so expensive, because it's made out of like real materials that were made either here or Canada.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, but it's the fact that people give it hype. They make it mean something.
Mhm.
Where in reality, it doesn't mean a damn thing. Yeah, because it doesn't. I bought the Yoji Yamamoto collab just because it looked like the Tekken logo. Now, to other
Mm.
people, they see it as a brick, which is a term in like the hype beast terminology or vocabulary. Basically, brick
Mhm.
means oh, it's not popular or it doesn't resell that high. But
Oh.
it's like I don't care. If you scored some fire red Jordan threes, those are awesome fucking shoes. Who cares if they're
Yeah.
bricks? They look good on you.
Mhm.
Like that. And then also they're fire red. I mean, come on, that's like an
Yeah.
OG colorway. You know. But that's just how. But it's that sort of hive mind to it. It creates like hype
Mhm.
behind something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Where the value is artificial through our perspectives, but our perspectives are put by position, or depending what position we are in, the sort of societal normacy. And nihilism is just breaking away from all like these beliefs and all these things, because it's like, because even right now, all I'm wearing is just a black slim fitted Hanes t-shirt I bought at Target. As a matter of fact, I've been wearing either this or polo tank tops, like their undershirt tank tops, just because they fit better. That's it's not like
Oh yeah.
it's not like I prefer polo. I just don't like the generic brands like Fruit of Loom or Hanes. They just don't fit right. They're like really short for some reason. I don't know why.
Mm.
It's
Oh.
like bro, I'm not 5'7", dude. My gut's kind of sticking
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like I gotta buy a large, but the large is too baggy. You
Mhm.
know, yeah. And it's dragging against my shirt, my button shirt. So it's like, but that's just what it is. But of course, it is something that kind of humbles you, but it can definitely lead to a type of pessimism to where it makes you cynical, to where you're actively supporting the nothingness. But here's the thing: this is where a lot of people will misunderstand Friedrich Nietzsche, because because I think out of all philosophers, at the end of the day, they want someone to become a better person through their teachings,
Mm.
to learn the lessons that they learned, to learn the questions that they've went to, that they had the things they had to go through, because a majority of these philosophers had mental breakdowns or committed suicide, because they really were
Oh.
at a breaking point, to find a sort of like just to don't do that. Sorry, there was a ghost in my room. The thing is, it's like we're basically, because through nihilism, well, even pessimism, because it's almost like pessimism is sort of like it wants to give the idea that there's a reason for suffering, you know, and then nihilism basically saying, oh, there is no reason for suffering. But now I'm studying absurdism, which absurdism is basically, I'm still trying to understand it, still trying to deconstruct it, because it's a whole new one. It's like a whole new subject to me, to where it's not resonating with me quite yet. But it does have something about rebelling against the meaninglessness, to where it's like, uh, you're fucking around. Basically, it's fuck around and find out kind of philosophy. That's what I'm getting at.
Okay.
To where you can't find out unless you fuck around.
Gotcha.
So it's almost like you can't, see if there's a life unless you engage in the pursuit of life.
Hmm.
And you don't know if there is a death unless the action brings a death. So it's almost like you're kind of proving it to your own perspective if something is really meaningless or not. But it's the process that's its own reward, because now you get to find a truth
Hmm.
to it. Or find,
Gotcha.
or discovered a lie that you've been
Yeah.
misled to the whole time. So it's kind of like that.
That too.
I don't
Yeah.
know if that's really the definition of absurdism, but there was something about this mythological figure called Sisyphus or something like that. To where he basically lied or tricked, or he cheated death, literally,
Hmm.
actual death, tricked death to get back to the life of the underworld, or get out of the
Yeah.
underworld and enjoy the pleasures of life.
Hmm.
And it's just like, okay, cool. So he tricked death, knowing that there would be a very harsh punishment for him.
Yeah.
But then when he did get punished and got caught and returned to the underworld, his punishment was to push a boulder up to a hill, and when he got to the top of the hill, the boulder went back down, and he were to
Boy.
do it all over again. But here's the thing: instead of, but this is what it was. It's almost like, the saying of like, you know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and
Over and
expecting a
over
different,
again.
and expecting a different result.
Oh.
Well, here's the thing:
Yeah.
now rolling up this boulder just became a challenge, because it's like, okay, now I'm just gonna roll it up again and more efficient. And I'm gonna get a
Hmm.
little better at it every time, just to spite you.
Huh.
Yeah. So that's kind of
Yeah.
like a thing. So I mean, that's basically, so yeah, that's what I've been reading. Just different philosophies, deconstructing it. You know. Now, of course, it's been, a couple people a couple girls I've talked to where I guess they just think I'm crazy because they see me reading philosophy. And, okay, no, I'm not. I just want to elaborate. It's not that I'm crazy. I'm just crazy enough to understand it.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
because, oh crap, the screen went black. All right, but yeah. So that was a lot. I mean, that's what I've been reading. That's what I've been learning, and hopefully, whoever's listening, well, I think Rigo. Yeah, well, Rigo, if you're listening, I hope this was a mind blowing experience for you. Yeah, because that's literally the only fan of my content.
Yeah. You actually really expanded my mind a bit about what I thought nihilism was. I thought, just the base principle of there's, it's like not, it's like whatever you do is really just meaningless in the grand scheme of all things. Because, you look at yourself as, like when you think about, space, you're just like a speck of dust in the grand universe of everything.
Yeah,
To where like nothing is really important. So it's like kind of like a freedom of do what you do, but not like to the extreme or like, do whatever you do, you do some fucked up shit. But it's like do what you do because they feel like in the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't matter. Live the life you want to live Am I kind of in the ballpark, or I'm just way off? Like,
You're slightly off, but like it's a very complex subject. I mean, if it was simple, there would only be like one book on it.
that's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
Yeah. And then I think most people like if they just like look up about nihilism just like a little bit, then they're like, oh, okay, well, I know about it then, blah blah blah, or I know what's need to know, but don't dive, any further into it.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot more to it because
Hmm.
I mean, even philosophy was created all the way back to hell, like ancient Rome and ancient Greece.
Oh yeah.
Which I will say, I think Stoicism is outdated. You can anywhere. I feel free to challenge me on that because,
What's behind stoicism? That I've heard the term, but I really like just don't know.
well,
Like I've never really looked into it.
here's the thing about Stoicism. Stoicism is just basically the act of like not caring, or basically not the act of like not letting things bother you. Yeah, but the reason why this was a popular, even not just not just a subject of philosophy, but it was a popular ideal amongst these ancient times because you gotta understand, there was war, there was still famine, there was disease,
Hmm.
there was
Yeah.
natural disasters, there was all kinds of shit that was going on. You know, I mean, you had civilizations that rise and fall, but through that they had like stoicism, to where, But here's the thing, uh, if we deny our human emotions, we are denying our survival, which is where nihilism comes into this. Especially in the book of Beyond Good and Evil, there's a section to where it says, if you were okay, because if you refuse to accept the truth, or you choose to make up your own truth or seek validation of just anything, then that means you're not really living because you're denying a truth. And when you have that, and the reason why, because Friedrich Nietzsche actually hates stoicism, because you are denying your human emotion, but these primal instinctive emotions such as fear or just momentary happiness, or really achievement, when you
Hmm.
deny that, then you are in a way accepting defeat.
Hmm.
So
So it's kind of like I'm sorry if I'm probably gonna be doing this a lot just to get like
yeah, go
the
for it.
like the monkey brain, just like, oh, so you mean so it's like human like emotions and stuff is like what make us, right? We're happy, sad, thoughtful,
The
yeah,
basic warrants of like, if like, because there's like physical pain, but then there's like the reaction.
mental,
Yeah, there's a
yeah.
mental reaction of like, especially because you know it's like one of those things to where like stoicism can be good in the sake of like, if you have a very uplifting path in life.
Hmm.
Basically, it will help you resist ego, to not get cocky from like various achievements. So there is like a basically
Mm.
there is healthy stoicism, but the unhealthy stoicism is the one to where you're just accepting defeat, or basically it's like it's not like you become uh like psychopathic or sociopath, or antisocial personalities or whatever. It's just more of like you're actively denying the emotion that's sitting in your brain.
So basically, the term "it is what it is."
Yeah, which to me, there's nothing that says that you accept this loss with your selfish pride more than any. Basically, nothing tells me more that you love to be a failure than that saying.
Yeah, I know that's become like a huge, just
Yeah,
saying like at sometimes, you just say it as a joke. You're like, oh, it is what it is. But after a while, you keep saying it, and then it becomes like a truth for you.
yeah,
It becomes a truth for you, and then now you're really just like, oh, well, I'm just doing this now because you're like, oh, well, it is what it is. When it's like, no, you can go out there and fix. If it's fixable, whatever situation you're in, it's fixable. You just have to put in the work for it or put in the sacrifice for something. to achieve the goal. So, yeah, that's I get it now. So it's like a way of saying, well, I'm just gonna accept how this is when it's like possibly something you can fix.
Yeah.
Kinda right?
Yeah, you're kind of on there, you know. But it's just basically saying of like, well, there's another philosopher. I don't know what what this is, but he has a thing to where
Hmm.
it's like I don't know what quite subject philosophy he deals with. His name is something Dostoevsky or something like that. But basically, his summary is more like the harder you try, the worse it gets.
Mm.
So yeah, so there's something like I said, I'm not. I mean, I found a half price books coupon. I mean, gift card. For like that was
Hmm.
like $30. I bought like three Eastern philosophy style books. One of like the I think Mastery of Zen. I forgot what it is exactly, but it's like the first edition, so it's like really old. It's from the 70s.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I
Damn.
got that one. The one of like the teachings or like the philosophies of Bruce Lee, introduction to the
Mm.
philosophy that influenced Bruce Lee, or the ones that he followed, and
Mm.
then another one which I forgot what it was called, where Living, Dreaming, Dying, which is the deconstruction of the Tibetan Book of the Dead. Which, by the way, the Tibetan Book of the Dead influenced the Silent Hill series a lot.
Damn.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'll probably be reading like Eastern philosophies after I'm done with this one, which is more of like Western style philosophy or Westernized philosophy. But yeah, that's basically what it is. But I mean, I will say this: these books have been sort of helping me, like understand things because sometimes we're just with all of our institutions that are government funded, not to go into conspiracy theories and all that. But then again, maybe it is a conspiracy theory. But what if the theory is not even like as, you know, it's just more simple than it is. It's not even like an
Yeah.
evil scheme. It's just a scheme
Yeah.
just to make money.
Yeah. It's like when you break it down and you're like, oh,
You know,
that makes sense.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh yeah, this. It's just like, oh yeah, we'll monetize a diet that's actually really good for people. But as long as we're making money from it, we don't give a fuck.
Hmm.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff. So
Honestly,
it
yeah.
doesn't matter if something is good or bad. If someone's just making money off of it, that's really just the motive.
Yeah.
So either way, so make just buy good things that make you good, feel better. You know, like some used books, and some thrifted Levi's 505s.
Hmm.
Just whatever. And then also, don't support fast fashion. Don't buy anything from Zara.
I don't even know what that is.
Good. Wow, wow, you are broke. I'm just kidding. I don't
I
know.
told you. I told you. I don't know nothing about no fashion brands
you know. Well,
except Supreme, and that's just because memes and shit,
yeah. But
or
like,
just anything in general. I'm
yeah,
just like, cool, bro.
yeah, yeah. But still, don't buy from H&M or Zara or
Yeah.
Fashion Nova. Support your local thrift store or be punk rock as shit and just buy some white plain Hanes shirts, make a stencil and just make a pattern on your shirt.
Mm,
Make your own fucking clothes.
hell yeah.
Do that stuff. Create your own identity instead of buying what someone wants you to be.
Go to
Wow,
like those pop ups.
that sounded deep. I didn't even mean to sound deep.
That was deep as
I,
fuck.
I didn't even
Yeah.
I didn't even mean to sound deep, bro. I was just trying to be like, yo, just be listen to punk rock oh my god. Wow,
Nope. You straight up.
us crust punks were right all the time.
They were. Yeah.
Yeah, be vegan and make your own fucking clothes and look cool.
Boom. That's it.
Wow.
It's like that's the message.
Wow, so that's what they were trying to teach me when I was a teenager. Damn, whoever thought I'd be applying those ideals now.
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah. You just had to sit down and actually read the lyrics of the band to get it.
Well, I mean, it's hard to understand lyrics that are only 3 lines.
That is true.
Yeah, discharge. there's only 3 lines in that whole song. Sometimes even one. Doesn't really teach me or tell me nothing.
Right.
But yeah. Anyways, yeah, I think that would be a good place to stop. That was a good episode. At least gives us, I mean, definitely someone that could listen to it.
Oh yeah.
Just having like unscripted ramblings of shit that I make up. Because I think there's not a single thing that I made up in this thing.
It's like source. I made it fuck up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah. So I guess that's about it. So yeah,
Okay,
that's
bro.
episode 2 of the Mustache Thrash Cast. And if you're watching it, I hope you enjoyed this random horrible footage of me playing Counter Strike.